I find this kind of interesting that people have this whole thing about Jewish food, kosher food being clean. I don't know. This is just. I feel like all my secular friends, every time they say, "Oh, did the rabbi bless it, or is it very clean?" Because I guess they associate pigs with being dirty, and all secular people, it's just like bad pig, cow good, and pigs are dirty and cows are clean. I don't know how that came about because every time I've seen cows, they're all shitting on themselves or like when they're milking cows, there's crap everywhere. It's not like they're clean animals, necessarily more than pigs. Pigs just have littler feet and they roll around on the floor, and maybe that's why that makes them dirty. But it's funny that people say, kosher restaurants are cleaner and everything's so clean. I mean, if anything, kosher food is like the dirtiest thing of all time. It's not that the kosher food is more dirty than the non-kosher food, just the people who eat it, And this is not, I'm generalizing, but you ever go to a kiddush? I mean, kiddushes are the worst example for cleanliness and kosher. I mean, people are just, you're at a kiddush and, someone's waiting for the spatula to get that corner piece of kugel. It's always the corner piece of kugel. It's got the crunch on both sides, and they don't want the soggy middle pieces, and all the oil flows down to the center of the pan. So they're trying to get that corner piece, and they got they got the spatula in there, they got the fork in there, they're trying to get it out, and then they give up and they just grab it with their hands. Or the best is when they take a plastic cup, and the kugel was, someone forgot to cut the kugel. The caterers are too lazy. It's always, the caterers at these kiddushes are always these, off the derech, yeshiva guys. You're like, oh, what do you do? RCC, Turo, one of those. For what? For business. I work in mortgages on the side. They're one of those kids. And, they were out back drinking and never got to cut the kugel. So you have people down there they have a couple plastic forks lost in the kugel, and then someone's digging with a cup, and someone's got a styrofoam cup, and then someone's debating if you need a shlishi to get the kugel out. It's a whole hockin' mess. And in the meantime, it's the dirtiest thing you've ever seen. Everyone's kind of and in kiddushes, you can't, unless you spread people apart, you're never going to get the food. And it's one of those things. It's like you can't be Frum, and you can't be a Jeremy and be Frum. That's really what it is. Because if you were, you wouldn't eat in half the restaurants. My brother was one time, he used to work in a pretty popular kosher take-home food store in the tri-state area. I won't say which one. And he recalls fondly the first time he dropped a chicken on the floor. And he picked it up, and he was going to throw it out, of course, because my brother, we didn't grow up in a very clean apartment. We were pretty ghetto, but, we take salad with our hands on Friday nights. So his boss says, Charlie, what are you going to do? What do you do with that chicken? Put it back. And my brother's like, okay. He's like, what do you do when you drop $8 on the floor? What do you do when you drop $8 on the floor, new? Pick it up. A chicken's $8. Look, we pay 3 cents for it, but chicken's $8. Wash it off, put it back. See a customer you don't like, they're acting schmucky to you, they get that chicken that fell on the floor. So always treat your caterers nice. Always treat your waitstaff nice. I know that people like to be bitchy in these places. They like to, just, my kosher delight chicken ain't good like it's supposed to be in the picture. Kosher delight is supposed to take like crap, man. Kosher delight was made for people who had the munchies and they couldn't tell whether it was cooked or not cooked, or there were feathers sticking out. Chinese food ain't bad there, though. My buddy ordered that chicken and broccoli with the cashews. Wasn't bad, man. I was kind of scared of it. It's just scary looking. Too much mass production going back there. And all the Hasidim are hocking with each other, and they're like, Val, do you want the fried chicken or the 10-piece bucket? I don't know. Do you have cholent? What do you mean you don't have cholent? How can you not have cholent? It's a kosher restaurant. There's no cholent. So, kiddushes are crazy. Weddings, I was at a wedding the other night, and every time I sat down, there was another dude sitting in my seat, using my utensils that I just used, eating my food that's half eaten. I'm like, what the F? I thought I was the only one that did that. You sit at a wedding, and for some reason, the appetizer is never a big hit with wedding people. Me, it is. I'm always I'm sitting at the chuppah, and the whole time in the chuppah, all I'm thinking about is, what are they going to have for that appetizer? Is it going to be one of those, mushroom sauce, potato barekas? Maybe it'll be salmon and dill sauce. Maybe it'll be a strawberry mango salad. There's only 3 options pretty much. And this time it was the potato sauce, mushroom bareka thing, Potato bareka with the mushroom sauce. I ate, man, and I was kind of hungry. I was scanning around. I see everyone's not eating there. So I'm like, dude, you can eat that? I ate half of it. Okay. Just take it, dump it on my plate. Hey man, you gonna eat that? Nah man, it's cool. Dump it on my plate. I got a stack of them. It's all good. Pretty dirty though, because they ate half of it. You know, it's like the and you can tell a heimishe wedding by the fact there ain't no serving forks. There's this big bowl of coleslaw, no serving fork. I noticed that everyone's sticking their own fork in. No big deal. It's not even thought about. I think I was the only one at the table to actually think, you know, there's no serving spoon in that. That's how you can tell when you're in a heimishe establishment. Then you have other places that there's not only is there serving, you know, there's no knife, no napkin. It's a fork and a plate, and your plate is likely to rip. So you're just gonna be eating off the table. Like I was in Postville, Iowa, man. I was at this bris, and they served like cholent for breakfast. I know it's kind of weird. It's like sweet and sour chicken, meatballs. It was really good, but it was one of those events where there was no big serving fork. It was like every man for themselves, wielding a freaking little ass plastic fork and trying to pin that thing into the tomato that keeps bouncing away. And once you pin it, it squirts all over the place. It was like a nightmare, you know. So cleanliness and kosherous, I don't know if they go together. In some restaurants, they probably keep it in the back, you know, like in Abigail's or Wolf and Lamb. Like it's like you come in there, you spend your $50 in a steak. As long as you don't go in the kitchen, everyone's probably throwing things around, like all those like pepper encrusted steaks are really dirt encrusted steaks. I personally don't want to know. As long as it tastes good, and I don't get food poisoning. I have never really gotten food poisoning from restaurants. I mean, some restaurants it's assumed you're gonna get sick. You go to Burger's Bar, you get the double burger, you get some fries, you get a soda. You're pretty much asking for it, but it's so good going down, and it's like almost worth the time spent on the toilet. Substational, any of those shawarma places in Flatbush. Shawarma is like a license to make you crap. I mean, the whole point is shawarma was created as a laxative. It's the only reason you're buying a laffa. Why else would you buy this enormous, like, gyro, whatever you want to call it, and eat the whole thing? Because you know every time you eat a laffa with shawarma in it, halfway through you're like, I can't eat anymore, but it's so good. And you want to get to the bottom, because the bottom's where all that shit, it all like combines at the bottom, and you just want to get to the bottom where the hamba and the hummus and the china and the harif and all the falafel juice and all the olive stuff is all combined in there, and you want to get there before it like leaks out of the thing and it saturates everything, and your little like tin foil is just like sea. It's like one of those like sweat jackets they put on you at the end of the marathon. You want to get there before then. But you can never eat it all. Then you see the women like grabbing with their hands. I remember going into Famous Pete as a kid. There's always like women that would come in and like grab a couple of falafel balls and leave. I always liked that. Just put their hands in there, like look around. Oh, free falafel balls, free samples, right? Like the whole salad bar was a free sample. Just bring in your own plate and dump it on, regardless of serving forks. That's kind of interesting. Never even thought about this whole issue before.